सहन ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्या सम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः सर्वोपप्लवरहितः प्रज्ञानघनः प्रत्यगर्थो ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः ॐ In the last mantra, we saw what happens to those who are committed to karma and who are committed to upasanas. Two things simultaneously. In the Shastric language, it is called as Gnana Karma Samuchaya. Those who do both. Who are these people? They are vanis, vanaprasthis, living a life of withdrawal, avoiding certain obligatory duties and minimum obligatory duties they are performing, avoiding certain social connections also. And when they live thus, doing Agnihotra the karmas and doing Saguna upasanas, what happens to them? Surya Dwarena, Virajaha Santaha, they become Virajaha. Rajaha means papam, Rajaha means dirt. Rajaha, Virajaha, they become purified. And Surya Dwarena, through the path of solar path, they go where? Yatra Purushaha Avyayatma, where Brahmaji lives. They mean they go to Brahmaloka. That's the ultimate thing that one can achieve hereafter. Like in any given country, the ultimate thing that one can achieve is to become the head of the country, either prime minister or the president, to hold all the power, or become the richest person of that country, become a billionaire. And my name and my company's name appears on the first five in the Forbes 500, Fortune 500 list. I am the topper. That's a maximum. So Brahmaloka is a maximum. As I said, the Vishayas are very subtle and they give a lot of joys and Vishay Sukham. Necessary or compatible sense organs and ambience is there, atmosphere, and you are free, relatively free from any kind of dukkha. By the way, in our description of heaven, we should feel proud. Our religion is great in many ways, and one of them is going to heaven also. All these fellows talk about heaven. One fellow says you will have eternal dinner, nothing else. You have dinner, and that means you are stuck with soup and few things. And so at least somewhere you have to say, no, I don't want anything. And then you have to get up, but you are not allowed to get up. And when you have eternal dinner, that means it is eternal darkness over there. That is their talk. And another one says you get some women and drunk and the wine and the drinks. Our heaven is there where it is very clearly mentioned, na tatratvam na jaraya bibheti ubhe tirtva ashanaya pipashe shoka tigo modate swargalok. There is no thirst and hunger. You can eat as much as you want. So jihva sukham is there, but the pain of being hungry is not there. And no old age and no disease whatsoever. Think of it. No fear of corona. You can imagine what a place it must be. You don't have to worry for the shots. You don't have to wear mask. And you are free bird in heaven. So that's our heaven, permanent. That means Swamiji would say, the fellow is straightway born with a shaving kit, The childhood also is painful. People think that childhood is very happy and the best period of life. And there are some WhatsApp coming, people used to ask me when I was a child, what you would like to become when you grow old or when you become young. Having grown old, I realized that I should become a child. That is nonsense. This is non-thinking reply. You remember your childhood. Childhood is fraught with helplessness. Childhood is fraught with dependency. Childhood is fraught with all kinds of bondages. Fellow wants to have one more toffee chocolate. Mom said, no, you cannot. He wants to go out for playing. Mom says, no, you cannot. Whatever he or she wants to do, parents don't want him to do. So childhood, and that is why when all of us were children, always wanted to grow old. Not that we were happy in being child. No child says, or even a teenager, that I want to continue as this. They just want to grow old, so that they want to break the shackles of the limitations posed by their elders and the family and the society. Anyway, so in heaven, all these pains are not there. Now the question comes, two questions. Why all this is discussed? And the second question is, what happens to the fellows who go to Brahmaloka thereafter? What happens? And the third question is, in the modern context, nowadays you hardly find a person doing Agnihotra Karma. In India, they are only on fingertips. What to talk of outside abroad? I mean, in US and Canada and West Indies and New Zealand, there is nobody Agnihotra. Shastra says there should be two fires in the home, one in the kitchen and one in Yagnashala. But that second fire has been replaced by this. They keep fighting. Somebody told me in Gujarati when I said, Shastra says you should have two fires. Says, અમારા ઘરમાં બીજી અગ્નિ તો હળગતો જ હોય. અમારે બાજવાનું ચાલતું જ હોય. We keep fighting all the time. So that fire is always there. On a Dashera day, they do Shastra Puja, the weapons, worship their weapon and do puja. The lady was applying kumkum on the tongue. The husband said, what are you doing? He said, I am doing Shastra Puja. This is my weapon. That fellow said, your tears are also your second weapon. Better put that in your ears also. When she cries, that is also a weapon for it. When a woman cries, so the husband said, you have one more weapon. That is your tears. So please put the kumkumam in your eyes so that they may burn. And you do that Shastra Puja also. Anyway, coming back to this topic. That fire is not there. So that means nobody goes to Brahmaloka. True, as per the law of karma, it's not there, but the new concept has evolved. These so-called sampradayas within India, Bharat, they talk of going to Dham. Bhagavan came with his Vimanam and took the devotee to his Divya Loka, Goloka and Vaikunt Loka and whatever dham they have imagined. And they go there. And there, once you go, you are muktaha, eternally mukta. All these are answered, all these questions are answered in the next mantra. Also, what is the purpose of all this discussion? What is the purpose of performing all the duties? Hindu's life is governed by Veda Shastric injunctions. And Hindu's life is full of duty. Hindu's life is governed by certain maryadas, certain boundaries. You cannot have a life of your choice if you are a true Hindu. This is my way, I want to be like this. No, you are bound by certain maryadas. And you adhere to those limitations posed by the society, religious values, social values, familiar values. What is the reason? Why do I do this? And I extend this question furthermore. One more Purva Paksha. Some people say also, what do I gain if I follow my duty? What do I gain if I follow the life of values and ethics and all that? I have been very honest throughout the life. I have been very hardworking throughout the life. I have been serving very diligently and very honestly and very committedly to my parents, my family, even my institution where I work. I had been very committed to that. I always thought of the interest of the company first, then myself, and I sacrificed my time, etc. I went overboard, sometimes took some risk and decisions to see that the company benefits, see that the institution benefits. What do I gain out of it? At the end of it, sometimes people find that they don't have some lot of money and don't have a lot of luxuries, and therefore they feel it is useless. All these questions are answered in the next mantra, mantra number 12. Just look at this mantra. It is very important mantra. And very loaded also. I don't know why so many are missing in the class today, though it's a very important mantra. Almost 1/3 or 40% are missing. Pariksha lokan karmachitan brahmanah. Pariksha lokan karmachitan brahmanah. Nirvedamayat nastya krutah krutena. Nirvedamayat nastya krutah krutena. Tadvignanartham sagurumeva bhigachet. Tadvignanartham sagurumeva bhigachet. Samitpani shrotriyam brahmanishtam. Samitpanishrotriyam brahmanishtam. Again, I'll take the whole line, whole sentence. Parikshalokan karmachitan brahmanaha nirvedamayat nastya krutah krutena. Parikshalokan karmachitan brahmanaha nirvedamayat nastya krutah krutena. तद्विज्ञानार्थं स गुरुमेवाभिगच्छेत् समित्पाणिः श्रोत्रियं ब्रह्मनिष्ठम् तद्विज्ञानार्थं स गुरुमेवाभिगच्छेत् समित्पाणिः श्रोत्रियं ब्रह्मनिष्ठम्. Look at the translation. Pariksha lokan. Ikshanam means seeing. Ikshanam means analyzing. Paritaha ikshanam, evaluating it from all sides, examining from all sides. This is a Sanskrit word which is there in every Indian language. Annual exam is called pariksha. Analyzing, examining, looking at it from all perspectives. Therefore, typical Indian teacher will ask some question from one corner of the book which you may not thought it may be asked. And they always want to, they don't want, irony of these school exams and university exam is, they don't want to know, they don't ask what you know. They ask what you do not know. They are more interested in knowing that. Hello, are you getting me? I think I lost you. Okay. So paritaha ikshanam, seeing from all perspectives, examining or analyzing what? Lokan. Lok, I had told you this. Loka means lokyate anubhuyate iti lokaha. And plural of the loka is lokan, that experiences. Analyzing all the experiences. You have to add here. Experiences here or somewhere else. Experiences of now or the past. And experiences of myself and others. All possibilities of about experiences, you analyze that. Karmachitan loka. The experiences gained through as a result, gained through or as a result of some karma. Karma means here actions and upasanas. Yajna yagadi or seva karma, ishtapurta karma, and some upasanas. So either Laukika or Vedika or Manas, all three karmas. The experience, the possible and already gained experiences which are acquired through karmas and upasanas by myself and for others, having analyzed all these, Brahmana, a Brahmin, this is one important word. You don't translate Brahmana as Brahmin. Let us have it this Brahmin as of now. Brahmana nirvedamayat. One gains or one discovers nirvedam vairagyam. Brahmana discovers vairagyam. And vairagya is born out of what? It is a viveka born vairagya. Neither just because of some instinct, nor because of some experience, and that is a pain, and therefore you want to run away. As they say, the grapes are sour. It is out of analysis. Nirvedamayat nasti akrutaha krutena. Krutena akrutaha nasti. Krutena means through karmas, through upasanas. Akritaha means moksha. I cannot gain moksha. No one can gain moksha through any kind, any amount of or any type of actions and upasanas. That is a vairagya. Means viveka born vairagya. The dispassion which is born out of discriminative inquiry into one's own experiences, others' experiences, one's own achievements and others' achievements, here and hereafter. Then, having gained the dispassion, what one does it? Tat vijnanartham, vignapti prayojanartham, to know what that vastu means, to gain that knowledge which takes you to moksha, to gain that self knowledge, to gain that the knowledge of identity between the self and the truth, to gain the knowledge of Jiva Brahma Ikyam, Gurum Eva Abhigachet. You have to go to a teacher only, not self study. I will see all this when I talk about the mantra. And what kind of guru? Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. Brahmanishtam means one who knows what he or she is talking. One who has owned up this vision of the Shastra. And when that teacher who is talking, he or she is unfolding himself, the very self. That means he is talking about himself. And who other one is Shrotriya. Brahmanishtam means the one who knows oneself, one who has owned up the vision of the Shastra, and more important, that also we will see when I discuss this mantra, Shrotriyam, who knows the art, who has the art of handling the words of the Shastra, who knows the teaching methodology, who teaches in such a way that he or she knocks off the confusions, notions, prejudices, rather than implants few more. Spiritual notions, spiritual prejudices, no. Really spiritual ideas, no. He or she knocks it off. That means who is well versed in Shastra and well versed in the methodology of teaching the Shastra. Since this moksha is knowledge, and to gain this knowledge means are the words, upadesha, therefore one must handle the words in a proper way so that it may not add to the confusion. The whole problem is a confusion or error centered on I. There is already mistake or error centered on I, and the self being self-revealing, self-existent self, Chidananda, Satchidananda, Satchidananda. And that being a case, one must know how to handle the words whereby the already revealing self, already self-revealing self is recognized as it is. It is recognized. Aham asmi, aham bhami is known. I know I am. But who am I is a problem. And that is a confounded confusion. Who am I? Who am I? No. That has to be knocked off. Student has to see what I am not and what I am as a daylight. Teachers should be seeing it clearly and should be able to communicate in such a way that he or she sees it as clearly as the teacher sees it. As it is said, hasta malakavat, like a fruit in your hand. You see it so vividly and so closely. So also clarity of the vision and intimacy of the vision, that means identity between what is known and what am I. That is Brahmanishtam. You go to such guru and then gain. Listen. One of the questions, one of the Purva Paksha that I raised was, what is the purpose of Aparavidya? Why should I study? Why should I do all this karma? Why should I follow these maryadas? Why should I follow my all duties, all obligatory duty with the parents and yajna yagadin, etc.? And then another question, why should I live a life of values? What do I gain out of it? I didn't get money, I didn't get power, and I still have a crunch of resources in my life, and I'm suffering. And look at the other fellow who cut the corner, and the fellow is happy. He or she has lot of resources, and I have all kinds of dearths of the resources, etc. Listen, this one. The purpose of duty, purpose of committing to values and hard work and nishtha, etc., is to discover vairagya. Vairagyam is a phala. Dispassion is the result. Nothing else. If you gain money, that's, you can say, side benefits. It's a value addition. It is meant to discover vairagya. What is vairagya? That it creates, when we hear vairagya, oh, I don't want this passion. The fellow will say, I don't want to run away from this world. Swamiji, I want to enjoy the world. They say, they understand this. What is vairagya? Vairagya means to be happy with yourself relatively. To be content with yourself relatively. To be relaxed within. Gujarati में कहते उधामा ना हो, कारण वगैरह ना, उद्वेग ना हो. There is no agitations, no anxiety. The fellow, as they say, is a cool, not cool. Americans will not say I'll cool. The fellow is cool as cucumber. That is vairagya. That means relative self-contentment. Relative self-satisfaction, relative happiness. And another dimension to vairagya is freedom. The bondage, what we call the bondage of samsara, samsara bandhan. Typical Indian, you grow up hearing this word, they have this all the time, they say, Swamiji, हम तो बंधन में फंसे हैं. We are stuck in the bondage. We are in samsar bondage. And there is a very low image. And some people go other side, other extreme. They say, Swamiji, you have to manage such a big ashram and so many devotees, and you are working for national level. You have a big samsara with you. They become judgmental. They become my judge also. I said, better you ask me. What is bondage? Bondage is a twofold. One, bondage of raga dvesha, likes and dislikes. I want this. That is a bondage of karma phala and bondage of karma as well. Some people are so much of insistence, have so much of insistence that this has to be done. Like cleanliness. I have seen some ladies, they have some obsession with cleanliness. All the time busy. And they don't, there is a lot of space in the house, but she doesn't have space here. The husband says, you don't touch my office table. No, I will clean it. And when the fellow is sitting and relaxing, she will tell him, what are you doing, lazy bum? Go and clean your office table. You should not sit lazy. Have it clean. Why you sit quiet? nothing is available, then she will clean the storeroom. Then the fellow, out of love, will keep telling her, you please relax, you have back problem, you have food problem. No, 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 you don't understand anything. This is not the way to keep the house. And she will poke her nose in children's room also. And that's why makes herself unwanted by children. Though they love the mom. I love you, mom, and I hate you, mom. That is our Father in heaven, okay? Father loves you, but Father, you hate it also because it punishes you all the time watching with CCTV camera. Are you faithful or you will end to hell? So I love you and I hate you. Gets double message. Children says, Mom, leave my room as it is. Guests are not going to come to my room. At least leave that corner. No way. This is called raga. Please understand. And we say raga, it doesn't mean raga for some drink and some food or some movie or so. That's not raga. Only thing raga. That is raga, all right. But karma sakti, phala sakti, vesha. I just can't stand this person. I mean, what's the big deal here? Just accept it as the person is. They give some space to people to make mistake, to misbehave with you. Not that you let others to trample upon your toes all the time. Have some boundaries, I appreciate that. But at the same time, have some space within. That is a freedom. Vairagya means space here. I have a lot of space. I can be objective with reference to people and the situation. That is the first level of freedom. And that is why self-content. In other words, in one word which I often use this, Vairagya means objectivity. And as Puja Swamiji would say, that beautifully used to say, Vairagya is a gate for moksha. Please remember, Vairagya doesn't mean running away from home. Vairagya doesn't mean running away from the things and the people and situation. There is another stress within. No, I don't want them. I want to run away. They're useless. They're bad. No. Cool. Yes, it's okay. Let them be in their own spaces. Let them be in their own places. You may have it because if Vyavara warrants, situation warrants, use them. That means cutting them to the level of usefulness, not the end. They are a means for doing Vyavara, including money, including family, including marriage. Is a means to do the Vyavara. The goal is moksha. That clarity is Vairagya. And when one has a Vairagya, that is a gate to gain, that's a beginning for moksha. And that virakti is not out of disenchantment, not out of failures, not out of frustration, not out of inner pain, not out of hurt inside. Just it is out of analysis. That is a phalam. And that vairagya will lead to inquiry. Both ways. There is a viveka as a foundation for vairagya, and there is a viveka as the phalam, result of vairagya also. Both ways viveka is there. Relative discrimination, relative understanding about one's own experiences and experiences of others, that gives dispassion, and that dispassion gives rise to discrimination as to, hey, what am I seeking? This is not the mean, then I approach to the right means. That is the purpose of this karma. Understanding the limitations of all pursuits, understanding the limitations of all gains. Last time I told you one exercise. What is Vairagya? That This vairagya is appreciation of the fact. What I have been craving for, I have been wanting for all these years. You can say right from day one, I got certain understanding about myself and the world, and I want this. What I want, you have been asking for moksha only. What is moksha? Moksha means freedom. Freedom from dukkha. That's what I want all the way. And what do I want? Simply freedom from dukkham? No, I want to be happy also. Half you get. Freedom from dukkham, you get it every day when you sleep. Therefore, sleep is welcome and you get some happiness. People can sleep in the car as well. People sleep in the flight as well. Anywhere you can sleep because that is a freedom from dukkham. That is why they want to get intoxicated, drinks and mad drugs, because you forget dukkham momentarily. And some psychedelic state, you get it and you feel happy. That is okay. But this analysis, whatever may be my age, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, whatever it is, whatever number of days I lived, say 10,000, 12,000, 15,000 days you passed by. Out of those 15,000, 16,000, or 20,000 days, suppose you are 60 plus or 55 plus, you will be spending 20,000 days in the life. I have been restructuring myself. I have been restructuring my goals. I have been restructuring my relations. I have been restructuring my perception, evaluation about others, my ideals, my values, and the people around me, the situation around me, the relations around me. All the time I kept on restructuring, reshuffling, like that jigsaw puzzle. But never ever I found a single day, 24 hours to see myself as completely happy person. Never. I could never see myself, but I could never have had this feeling about myself. Thus far, no further. Enough is enough. I had enough of it. That never came. And that is moksha. To discover that enough, I don't want anything more. That is moksha. And that never came. Nasti akrutaha krutena. Krutena karmana akrutaha mokshaha na prapyate. That understanding, that clarity is vairagya. Karma involves a doer, a subject, karta. Karma involves sadhanani, karana, karakas as they call, what we learned in Sanskrit, prathama vibhaktaya, prathama vibhakti, dvitiya, tritiya, chaturthi, panchami, rama, ramo, ramaha, ramam, ramo, raman, ramana, ramabhyam, all those school teachings. These are necessary karakas, means. And karma is performed for a limited time, at a limited place. And the karta, the doer himself is limited in terms of resources and energies, and the nature of the karma is limited. You can do one karma at a time. You can drive and do, that is one karma. But you cannot drive and do 5, 10 karmas. Of course, people do that. Want to talk to friends on mobile, want to drink. This is a typical American. While going to office, they keep drinking cup of tea and coffee in the morning, sipping in that cup of tea and etc. But not more. Nothing you can do, anything more. You cannot have a shower while driving, while the car is moving. That is going to, by the way, I sometimes imagine that is going to be possibility. Once this Google will have driverless cars, they experimented 2 years ago. And when they have to feed in the computer, then car design will change, I tell you. You ask a car, you said, I want an office car and I want to do office work in the car. Then they will provide office table and the Wi-Fi and sit and do. Lady of the home would say, I want to cook while going to office and returning to the office. Then they will provide a kitchen. And the teenager would always say, I want a bed in the car. You feed the computer, root, Google, and then sleep. The designer car. Car will change. Anyway, you can do only few things. That is limitation. And that being limited, it will come to an end. We have seen this in Upadesharam. Karma kim param karma tajjadam karturagnaya prapyate phalam. Karma kim param karma tajjadam. The law of karma, action will definitely produce a result, and it to the doer. The result may be punya or papa. The result may be desirable or undesirable, but it will come to an end. There cannot be limitless phalam by limited karma. The nature of the karma is limitations. As I mentioned, karta limited, time limited, nature of action limited, resources limited, place-wise limitations, and simple law of mathematics, any numerical summation, multiplication of finite numbers cannot produce infinity. If Purnatvam, fullness is moksha, Purnamadav, Purnamidam, the fullness is moksha, it cannot be achieved, it has to be is, not to become. It has to be there, it has to be discovered. Moksha is only through knowledge. Therefore, this moksha, limitlessness, as you can say, discovering myself to be Satyam, Gnanam, Anantam Brahma, appreciating, seeing myself as Satchidananda, total happiness is not possible through any amount of karma, any given karma done by anything, including Brahmaloka. In the last mantra we saw, the one can go to Brahmaloka, which is ultimate happiness, you can say. That loka where the best ultimate vishayas and ultimate opportunity, everything is ultimate. But that itself is limited. Our Shastras are very clear. Not only you come back from Brahmaloka, being a karma phala, it will come to end, whether punya or papa. One day it will get over. Whether good or bad karma, it will come to end and you will come back. Like we have this famous story, you know, Arjuna had gone to heaven and he came back. He learned that Pashupatastra and etc. and that came back. He was cursed by that Apsara and lived there and taught dancing etc. So it came back. Even our Nachiketa story, he also came back. Satyavan Savitri story, her husband also came back. Any loka you go, you come back. In a modern language, our Shastras are very clear. In none of the lokas, three things you are not given. Neither citizenship, nor green card, nor work permit. Even H1 visa is not given. Except the Devatas have that H1 visa. Otherwise, nobody is given visas. Devatas also don't have green card. They are not permanent. A kalpa changes, Devata changes. There is only that much time. Even Indra is a position, not a person. Please understand. that can be gained and lost. Even the hairy heaven will come to end. A Brahma Bhuvanan Lokaha Punaravartino Arjuna Mam Upetatu Kaunteya Punarjanmana Vidyate. Including Brahmaloka will come to an end. So the fellows who go there, they will stay there, they will have the all pleasures, the best available pleasure. And as I mentioned last time, the possibility of gaining knowledge is more because the heart is pure. Antakarana Shuddhi is there. But remember, Vishasakti is there. They still have some, because even in spite of upasanas. See, Vairagya is a grace. I'll talk to that about that later. So, that is all there, but then you have to learn from Brahmaji there also. And our Shastra says, Brahmaji takes classes there in Brahmaloka. I don't know when he takes class, whether he gets time or not. And whether, first of all, whether you will go to Brahmaloka or not, that is also a question. And you don't know how long will you stay in Brahmaloka. Here when you go to US on a visitor visa, you know that this much time I am going to stay. Brahma in heaven, etc., they say, you just go there. You don't know whether you have visa for 2 days or 20 days or 2 months or 22 years or nothing. Suddenly, the KGB in Russia, like Russian KGB, or like North Korean, our president's secret service will come and deport you back to lockup. You don't know. Going is almost impossible. Swami used to give a beautiful example. See, to be in America, there is a billionaires club. You know, they have this. I have met some 5-6 billionaires, and they used to, by the way, those who are from Gujarat should know this. You know, one of the Hair Prince of Baroda, Kingdom Gaikwads, is in Florida. He is a good friend of mine, and he's a billionaire. And he likes to tell what about billionaires are. There is a billionaires club. They give you a certificate that you are a billionaire. Every year your accounts are audited by them also. And then one of the condition is that you have to do this much charity to become a billionaire. But I have never met any trillionaire. And there may be one or two, but they are hypothetical. Their worth is evaluated on the basis of the stock market. And the stock market is Murta Swarupam of Maya. You don't know when the stocks will fall and when the stock will jack up. You don't know. And therefore, suddenly their worth will go down. There is not actually so much as we Indians are used to have the tangible worth. And they have worth. But you have never seen zillionaire. Maybe billionaire, maybe trillionaire, but zillionaire, almost impossible. Similarly, sir, where are you from? I am from Brahmaloka. It is impossible. The fellow telling, I have a passport issued by Brahmaji. It's just impossible. And Shastra is very clear. The problem or the bondage is self-ignorance, nothing else. Ignorance being the problem means is only and only knowledge. And in the modern context, I would like to emphasize no amount of meditation and no amount of yoga, asana, pranayama, and samadhi, kundalini, awakening, nothing can give you moksha. Rute jnanan na mukti. Gnana devatu kaivalyam. So many mantras of the Vedas and so many vakyas of Bhagavad Gita I can quote and show you. If you are Shraddha on Shastras, one should be clear. No, going anywhere cannot give me moksha. Only knowledge is a means for moksha. So, even going to Brahmaloka and being, first of all, zillionaire is rare thing. Going to Brahmaloka. And that to get an opportunity to attend the class of Brahmaji. It's very difficult to go to that class because all heavenly or divine, you can say, pleasures available, and to drop them and go to class is so difficult. it is like it is like asking the fellow who is born and brought up in all riches and pleasures and all that, and used to nightclubs and dance and music and sleeping at 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock at night, early morning, and ask them fellow to come to Swamiji's class, Vedanta class. Swamiji takes at 8 p.m. Indian time, and our US time, East Coast time is this much and West Coast time is this much. I think you may have to wake up at 6 o'clock. Forget it. That fellow can never attend my 6 o'clock class for you because he cannot. Similarly, from in Brahmaloka, being surrounded or being indulged or dipped in like Rashagulla or Gulab Jamun dipped in syrup, the fellow is dipped in all sensual pleasures to throw them out and go to Brahmaji's class. And it requires a lot of luck and gain knowledge. So better don't bother Brahmaji and don't bother yourself. Better take advantage of Paramatma available across you online and attend the classes. Anyway, coming back to this going to Dham also. Bhagavan came in Vimanam will come. All so many sampradayas are floating in India. Like jams and sauces, they are there now. Mushrooms that they have come up, Big followings, and they are sometimes the face of Hindu Dharma abroad. Though they may have labor problems and they may do underhand some all issues while building the temple, central inquiries may come to them in the temple that you have flouted the laws of labor laws and money and etc. But then they say you will go to Dham. Bhagavan will come. Do bhakti. No. In this Upanishad itself, it says in the end, Gnana truptaha rashayaha kratatmanaha ihaiva sarve praviliyanti kama. They become free from all kinds of desires, all kinds of wants here and now. Even the first verse of Bhagavad Gita, Sthita Prajna section, Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan atmannevatmana tushtaha sthita prajna stadochyate. Right here, there is a question of going to Brahmaloka. Right here, there is no desire left out. In the same thing, in the last Mundaka, in the second canto, it says another one. Te sarvagam sarvatah prapya dhiraha yuktatmanah sarvameva vishanti. Having gained Brahman, they as though become everything. Become everything means there is nothing left to be gained. There is nothing left to be lost. I am everything. Everything is me. Nothing is away from me. I am the very substratum. I am the very essence. I am the very vastu of everything. That is a discovery. So going to any loka also, this is emotional. It can never give the moksha, and the subject matter has been aparavidya so far, and the phalam never. Bhagavan very clearly said in the beginning when we started the Upanishad. Remember that mantra. The Shishya asked, Kasminnu Bhagavo Vignate Sarvamidam Vignatam Bhavati. Guruji said, Dve vidye veditavye paracha aparachaiva. Tatra apara, etc., etc. Rugveda, Yajurveda, Samveda, Atharveda, etc. Shiksha, Kalpo, Vyakarana, there's 10 Vidyas were told. And then he said, Atha para yayatad aksharam adigamyate. So the para vidya is that through which you gain the knowledge of Akshara Brahma. And this all discussion is about apara vidya. So the contextually also going to Brahma Loka is not moksha because teacher is talking about apara vidya. Having said this fellow says, Pariksha, and the Rishi continues, Pariksha Lokan Karmachitan Brahmanaha Nirvedamaya. As we said, Kriti Mahodadhau Phalam Shashvatam Gati Nichittar Muktis Gati Nirodhakam. It is Phalam Ashashvata. Any karma phala, punya or papa, will perish one day. That is why the result of action, I don't use that. I like to use the word karma phalam. You know why? The phalam means fruit. And whenever they transport the fruit, nationally, internationally, when the packet, it is always written, perishable, move fast. So karma phalam is what? Perishable. And then we say, it is not written on the box, on the cartoon of the fruit, it is written, move fast. But there it is not written. We say, move fast. What? If it is dukkham. If it is sukham, this is maya. When it is sukham, people think it is not perishable. Permanently is going to be like that. And when it is dukkham, they think that is permanent to me. No, sukham is not going to be permanent. And dukkham also is not going to be permanent. Both are perishable. That is why it is called phalam. Falgutaya linam adarshanam gacchati iti phalam. The very definition of phalam is that which while you are watching it start disappearing. That happens in India, In summer, this is a season where you get chikus, Next to mango, so sweet and very popular fruit and grows in abundance in India. But that chiku, when you have it some good quality, as big as a tennis ball. Just keep it outside. You just forgot to put it in the fridge. After 2 or 3 days, it will become of the size of amla tree, amla phalam. The tennis ball becomes this much. And after a week or 10 days, because temperature is 40 plus in India, in Gujarat and few other places in this season, summer, and it is 40 plus, then afterwards it will become like a berry fruit. Right while you are seeing, it keeps on disappearing, perishing. Even while you are exhausting, enjoying, karma phala will come to end. Who can do this analysis? He said, Brahmana. Nirvedam. I'll explain this word Brahmana next week. Tomorrow, sorry, not next week. But in one word, Brahmana means a Viveki person. Brahmana is not a caste. Brahmana is a qualification. Brahmana is not physical. Brahmana is cognitive. How and why, I'll explain tomorrow. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। One information to all of you, I am not available on WhatsApp for another 4 5 days.